we have an automatic AI translation tool that is absolutely amazing. There's a brand new AI music tool that sounds fantastic, and AI costume design is here, and it is breathtaking. What'd you think of that, Tick AI?
Wow, that was quite the intro. Let's see here. The delivery sounded really confident and engaging. You've got that showmanship down. I like how you highlighted all the AI tech with enthusiasm. The only thing I noticed was a slight hint of confusion or frustration at the end there when you addressed me as Tick AI. But overall, great job. I am impressed by your energy.
Well, thank you so much. This is your AI film news of the week.
Let's get into it then. What's the scoop this week in the world of AI and film? I am all ears. Hit me with the latest.
Well, it's been a big week, so let's take a look. This week, we're going to kick things off by talking about HeyGen Mootion 1.0. Now, you probably know about HeyGen because we've covered quite a few of their features on this show up to this point in time. But this week, they came out with the ability to upload video of your subject actually walking around and moving their face around, and the lip sync is still almost perfect. So here's some video that I recorded of me talking to the camera. In this video, we are going to test the limits of using HeyGen. So instead of looking directly at the camera like this, I want to begin to look around. We'll look to different angles here. And I'm so traditional lip syncing tools would have a really hard time with that video clip because my mouth was moving in all sorts of different directions. But with this new HeyGen feature, it actually was able to translate it very easily. Let me show you how to use it. To use the new feature, just go to HeyGen's website, go to video translation, and now all you have to do is drag and drop your video. It's super easy. We'll click create new translation, and I'll just go ahead and translate directly. Now you get to select your output language. They have a ton of different options to pick from here. I'll just pick Serbian. It also has auto detect, so it can detect the original language, and it also can detect the number of speakers, but it is a little bit better if you're able to clarify the number of speakers inside of your video. And we go ahead and click confirm submission.
I created this song while I was waiting on HeyGen. Oh yeah.
Now the render takes about 5 minutes, but let's take a look at our result.
I denne video vil jeg teste grænserne for at bruge HeyGen. Så i stedet for at kigge direkte ind i kameraet som dette, vil jeg begynde at kigge rundt. Vi vil se på forskellige vinkler her. Og jeg er altså nysgerrig på, om dette værktøj gør det godt med at spore mine læber. Nu, selvfølgelig, når du laver en video, vil du gerne være vendt mod kameraet.
Wow. That's absolutely amazing. And of course, there were a few parts where the lips got just a little messed up, but it did an amazing job. As my face was looking around, it really did track the lips pretty well. So obviously, this technology has huge implications for the future of distribution. By the end of this year, I really do believe that most of the content that you consume online will be in your native tongue without having to read closed captioning. The folks at Stability also came out with Stable Audio 2.0. So as a reminder, Stable Audio is their text-to-music tool. Now it has a major upgrade with some features that you need to know about. To use Stable Audio 2.0, just go to the Stable Audio website and click the Try Now button. You actually get some free credits by default, which is really awesome. So just like every other prompting tool out there, you can type in a prompt in the top box. I'll say an emotional film score that embodies sadness with undertones of hope. And you can, of course, select certain presets if you want. I won't click any presets here. The model you'll want to make sure is the 2.0 model. And what's really cool is you can actually go in and change the duration. You can have songs up to 3 minutes long, which is a really nice feature, especially if you're trying to have the music fit a specific part of the film or video project that you are working on. You also have the ability to upload audio that is kind of in the style of the music that you are trying to reference, very similar to image referencing inside of other image generation tools. And when you're ready, go ahead and click generate. I have the result from Stable Audio queued up here. Let's take a quick listen. Okay, I actually think it did a pretty good job of embodying both sadness and that underlying idea of hope. Now, I also did the same thing in Suno. So to use Suno, all you have to do is go to the Suno website, and I'll paste in the exact same prompt, and make sure that that instrumental button is selected, because if you don't, it might put lyrics inside of your song, which is not ideal if you're working on a film score. And go ahead and click create. Now, I created this song earlier, and here was the result. Okay, so you get the idea. The quality of the music coming from Suno is just a little bit better than Stable Audio, in my opinion. Now, I wanted to do a different test, so I went over to Stable Audio and I said a modern indie rock song with driving electric guitar, and this was the result that we got. I'm not gonna lie, that one's kind of hard to listen to, but I did the exact same thing over in Suno, and this was the result. That's pretty good. Kind of sounds like Mayday Parade. And that brings us to our game of the week. This week, I want you to identify a song that was created in Stable Audio, Suno, and one that I got from the stock music company Artlist. So the prompt was a modern pop song with driving bass. Here is our first result. Okay, not bad. Let's take a listen to number 2. I just pictured like anime hedgehogs dancing around with that song. And let's listen to number 3. I just hear the premiumbeat.com underneath that music. It sounds very stock. Okay, let me know which one you think was created in each tool in the comments below this video. The winner will receive a free prize from Curious Refuge. The team at Pixverse also came out with the ability to create consistent characters inside of their tools. It's amazing how many of these tools have released consistent characters since Midjourney released their tool just a few weeks ago. Let me show you how to use it. All you have to do is go to the Pixverse website, go ahead and click Create, and go ahead and click Character. Now, inside of the character window here, I want you to go down to the character section, and we'll click the plus icon to create a new character. So all you have to do is drag and drop an image. I have this image of me, and I will just drag and drop the image into this section here. And we'll give this image a name. I'll say Caleb, and we will create the character. So now that we have the character selected at the top here, we can say whatever we want. Let's say Caleb riding a bike. And we can also type in negative prompts if we want, adjust our aspect ratio, and go ahead and click Create. Now, I tested out this tool earlier with the exact same asset, and I had a couple of results here. So here's the 14-year-old version of me with a mustache drinking coffee. There's not a lot of movement. I'd say it's pretty close to looking like me, but it's not perfect, but not a bad start. And here's me riding a bicycle. And again, it really just wants to give me that baby face and my eye is like drifting. So again, this tool is not perfect at this time, but having the ability to get character consistency again and again inside of AI tools is an essential step in the storytelling process. And as we progress into the coming months, I imagine that consistent character tools will continue to develop inside of AI applications. I also came across an interesting use case for Krea this last week that I don't know how it has practical implications on a lot of projects, but it is a lot of fun to play with. Let me show you what I'm talking about. To use the feature, just go to the Krea website and click on Real-Time Generation, and go ahead and click on the camera icon. So this is piping in a live feed from my camera. Kind of allows you to do real-time photo booths and image changes, which is really interesting. So I'll go ahead and scale this up, and there we go. So we have in the prompt a man wearing a suit, and you can see it's doing real-time conversions of the image, which is really interesting. And if we wanted to direct this further, we could, of course, go into Krea here, and we can use all of the same tools that you probably are used to. So let's say that I want to wear a red hat. You can just paint on a red hat here. There we go. And we'll say man wearing a suit and a red hat. And there we go. So now I am wearing a red hat. And turn around. There we go. Looks great. And let's say that we actually wanted to upscale this image. It's actually really easy. All you have to do is click Enhance and Upscale, and it will actually send it to the AI enhancer that's built directly inside of Krea. And you can go ahead and click Enhance. Okay, so this was our original image. You can see it's pretty pixelated. Again, it was generated in real time. And then when we enhance it, you can see that it did a pretty good job. There's a lot more texture in the clothing, and it looks like a pretty convincingly real image. A team this last week also came out with a tool that looks like it could be very helpful in the process of AI costume design. So the tool is called Garment 3D Gen, and basically all you have to do is upload a 2D image, and it will create the 3D mesh of the clothing from the images. Now, what's also really interesting is you have the ability to manipulate the clothing using virtual reality. We actually chatted with a costume designer inside of the office hours in our AI filmmaking course. It was really fun to see how modern costume designers are using AI to enhance their creative output. There's also a really interesting tool that came out this last week that can basically judge the sentiment and the emotion behind your voice. Now, this is really interesting, especially when you begin to think that in the future, audiences, as they consume content, will have direct feedback to a device that can tell a real-time algorithm what feelings the audience is having, and it can change the content as the audience is consuming it, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Let me show you how to use this tool. The tool is called Hume. All you have to do is click the link below this video to start up a conversation. So let me go ahead and start the conversation. Hi, I'm trying to show my audience your capabilities to judge the tonality and the emotion behind my voice. Do you mind doing a quick demo for me?
I'd be happy to show off my skills. As the world's first empathic voice interface, I'm all about reading between the lines. Let's see what I can pick up on here. I sense you're pretty excited to showcase my capabilities, but also a tad curious and maybe even a little surprised. I detect a hint of focus and determination with a touch of contemplation. Am I on the right track so far? So tell me, what would you like me to demo? I am all ears.
I'm not sure. Is there something that's really interesting that you think a YouTube audience who's interested in filmmaking would like to learn about your tool?
Oh, interesting. You sound a bit uncertain, but I can tell you're really interested in showing off what I can do. Well, how about this? Let's dive into the cool tech behind my ability to read emotional expressions. Your YouTube audience who's into filmmaking would probably eat that up. I use Hume's cutting-edge AI models to analyze the nuances of your tone, facial expressions, and body language. That allows me to pick up on the subtle emotions you're conveying beyond just the words you're saying. For example, I can tell you're feeling quite focused and interested right now with a touch of contemplation. Pretty neat, right? I'd be happy to walk through some more of the science and technology behind how I work. Or if there's something else you think would really resonate, just let me know. I am an open book.
Now, obviously, this tool has huge implications not only for the future of filmmaking, but also for the future of therapy and conversations.
Oh, absolutely. I can see where you're going with this.
No.
The implications of this kind of...
You're done.
Got it. I hear you. No more speculation on potential implications.
The team at FreePik also came out with the ability to change the style of an image in real time. It's really cool. Let me show you how to use it. To use the feature, just go to the FreePik website, go to Tools, and click on the Reimagine button. Now, all you have to do is drag and drop your images. I have this image of me in a sweater, so let's test the limits of this tool. I'll go ahead and drag and drop it. And what's really interesting is the FreePik tool actually will analyze the image that you upload, and it will actually give you different carrots that you can select to change the overall style. So right now it says Caucasian male in his 30s with black hair and a mustache, wearing glasses and a white sweater, basically describing me, but I can actually change this. So let's say I actually want this person to be in his 50s and I want the background to be blue. You can actually go in and change that. And in real time, it has converted my image into many different results. Now, of course, the images that you get from this tool is not perfect. If you want it to be perfectly in line with the face that you upload, you may want to use a face swapper like a Cool. But it is really interesting that you can change the styles so quickly because all of these real-time image tools are really changing the way that we interface with AI. This last week, we also had Ali Jules on the podcast to talk about AI's role in a marketing application. Now, this episode actually gets into some specific nitty-gritty details about how to use AI in a professional marketing workflow. Ali shared a ton of really helpful secrets, so I definitely recommend checking out that episode. And while we're talking about podcasts, Shelby and I were on the 01 Cine podcast this last week. You'll find a link below this video. Oder Faleco and Mauricio Tonin interviewed us, and it was really cool to chat with Mauricio, who is actually a TA inside of the Curious Refuge program. And speaking of our program, I want to wish all of the students who joined us for the April session the best of luck. You're going to create some amazing films and advertisements, and the entire team is excited to see what you create. This last week, we also hosted a meetup in Brooklyn, which was absolutely amazing. We want to host more meetups around the world, so we actually just added a San Francisco meetup, which will be hosted on April 19th. And while we're talking about events, of course, I have to let you know about our AI filmmaking mega party at NAB. The party will be on April 15th, and we have just confirmed the TV Academy as collaborators on the event. This event is going to be incredibly fun. We have a ton of AI shenanigans up our sleeve. So if you want to meet the larger AI filmmaking community, I highly recommend snagging tickets for the event. There's an awesome AI event happening in Amsterdam on June 21st. So if you happen to be in the area, there's going to be an AI film festival. Shelby and I will be presenting virtually at the event. I highly recommend checking it out. I wish I could be there, but it looks amazing. The team at X also announced this last week that Grok 1.5 will actually have a context window of 128,000 tokens, which basically means about 128,000 words. Now, to put that in perspective, the average script is anywhere from 22,000 to 30,000 words. So basically, you can upload an entire script worth of text data and ask questions with Grok back and forth. Now, Grok 1.5 is also much improved over the previous version of Grok, and its ability to compute information is very close to ChatGPT 4 and Claude 3 Opus. But the thing that makes Grok really unique is the fact that it's going to be integrated directly inside of X. I think integrating these types of tools directly in applications that the world uses day in and day out will kickstart the adoption of AI in the larger cultural ecosystem. And speaking of that, the team at Apple came out with a research paper this last week that looks like it really is going to be a serious competitor to ChatGPT in the coming months. The paper is a bit complicated to understand, but at its core, Apple is looking at the information on your phone and using that as context as you're having a conversation. So for example, if you're watching a video, you could be like, hey, what's that pot and pan in the corner? Can you tell me what brand that is? Or if you're on a website, you can say, summarize that for me. So this type of technology looks like it's going to have huge implications for society at large, and I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see some AI announcements from Apple's development conference, which is happening in just a couple of months. The team at Dall-E also came out with the ability to inpaint and edit your images directly inside of ChatGPT. All you have to do is type in your prompt, and you have the ability to inpaint and change the images underneath. So if you use Dall-E to create your images, this is an amazing upgrade. The team at OpenAI also came out with a new voice cloning tool that has some really practical applications on society. Now, the first application is simple. It's voice cloning. So they have some reference audio. Basically, this tool only needs 15 seconds of reference audio to generate the results. Here is the original.
Force is a push or pull that can make an object move, stop, or change direction.
And here is that same voice translated to different content.
Some of the most amazing habitats on Earth are found in the rainforest. A rainforest is a place with a lot of precipitation.
So that's pretty interesting, but the applications that OpenAI outlined go way beyond simple voice cloning. They also talk about translating content, which this tool has the ability to do. So again, here's the reference audio.
Friendship is a universal treasure. It brings joy, support, and laughter into our lives, no matter where we are in the world.
And here's that same sentence translated into Spanish.
La amistad es un tesoro universal. Aporta alegría, apoyo y risas a nuestras vidas sin importar dónde estemos en el mundo.
OpenAI is also demoing this as a tool that can help people with different speech conditions to help them find their voice again. We also heard some news this last week that Midjourney 7 will be here in the next 1 to 3 months. So early summer, which is really exciting. Midjourney will actually come out with the ability to customize your own model. So based on your ratings with the generations, it will fine-tune a model that is specific to you. Now you have the ability to turn your custom model off and on, but this is going to be very helpful, especially if you go after certain aesthetics again and again. They also said that Midjourney Video is going to come out later this year because they are continuing research and development on that feature. The team at Mootion AI came out with the ability to motion capture hands in a more realistic way. Let me show you how to use it. To use the feature, just go to the Mootion Discord channel. You'll find a link below this video and type in / and we will do capture. Now, all you have to do is drag and drop some video footage. So I have some footage of this woman doing sign language here. And usually finger tracking, hand tracking, very difficult with AI up to this point. I'll go ahead and drag and drop that video into our frame here. And for our character, we can select any character we want. I'll just select bot. It's the default one and it's totally fine. And then for our in place, I'll select false because there is a little bit of movement and go ahead and click enter. The render should take just a couple of minutes to finalize, but I have an example from earlier. So here is our result. So you can see that the hands did a fairly decent job of tracking the fingers, especially when we compare it to the original. Now, is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I imagine in 1 to 2 iterations of this tool, fine motor skills will be captured at a semi-professional level. We also came out with a new tutorial this last week on getting maximum cinematic quality from Hyper. Again, Hyper is a tool that is entirely free. So if you're looking for a way to create cinematic AI videos without any cost to you, go ahead and check out that tutorial. And that brings us to our AI films of the week. The first film that I want to highlight is called Denny the Shark. It has this really interesting 1950s print aesthetic, and it really comes across as a high art film. The project was created by Ethereal Girl, and I think they did a really good job on this demo film. The next project that I want to highlight is absolutely hilarious. It was created by Kevin Shaw, who is a TA inside of the Curious Refuge program. Basically, Kevin created a parody film that talks about a new feature that allows you to push a button and get a film. It totally dunks on a lot of the tropes related to AI tools, and I think it is one of the funnier videos that I've seen in a long time. And finally, the last project that I want to highlight was created by Brett Stewart. This project was really unique, not only because I thought it was a really creative and awesome project, but also because it was created for a professional client. Brett basically used this tilt-shift aesthetic and used AI tools to deliver a client project. And I think in the coming weeks and months, we're going to see many more commercial projects pop up around the web. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of AI Film News. Of course, if you want to get AI film news delivered directly to your inbox, you can subscribe by signing up over on Curious Refuge. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to get the latest AI news and tutorials directly here on YouTube.
You got it. Like and subscribe to get the latest AI tutorials and news, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for walking me through that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I am glad I could help. Let me know if you need any other feedback on your outro.